Good morning, guys. This is Samantha from Black Nation News, and today I'm reporting a tragedy that occurred on Wednesday, July 7th. Haiti's president was assassinated, and we're just going to look into further details to see what exactly happened. So I'm on here on CNN, and it's just so many updates. So here we have acting Haitian Prime Minister declares state of siege following the president's assassination, 10:33 a.m. July 7th. Haiti's acting Prime Minister Claude Joseph has declared a state of siege in Haiti in a message to the nation, saying he did not want the nation to plunge into chaos following the assassination of President Jovenel Moise on Wednesday. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Joseph said the decision to declare a state of siege was made at an extraordinary council of ministers meeting Wednesday morning. Under Haitian law, there are 3 levels of emergency, starting with the state of emergency, followed by a state of siege, and finally the highest level of emergency, which is a state of war. A state of siege means that all borders are closed, as well as martial law temporarily imposed, with Haiti's military and the Haiti National Police, HNP, empowered to enforce the law. Joseph, in the on-camera statement, appealed to citizens to stay calm. He also vowed to bring to justice those involved in the president's assassination. I call on everyone to stay calm, and I am very sorry to report to you the death of the president. Me and all the ministers have been working since the news broke, and we want to assure you we will bring the killers of the president to justice. Please stay calm and let the authorities do their work. We don't want the country to plunge into chaos. This is a very sad day for our nation and for our people, Joseph said. Next update, I saw 10:21. These are the events leading up to the assassination. So this was 10:21 a.m. on July 7th, 2021. Assassinations have no place in a democracy, Regional Forum leader says. The Organization of American States, OAS, General Secretariat has issued a statement condemning the assassination of the Haitian president. We condemn in the strongest terms the criminal act that occurred this morning, the assassination of President Jovenel Moise. This attack is an affront against the entire community of democratic nations represented at the OAS. We deplore this attempt to undermine the institutional stability of the country with the utmost vehemence. This statement read, "We reject the reprehensible act. Disagreement and dissent are part of a vigorous and mature system of governance. Political assassination have no place in a democracy. We call for an end to an irresponsible policy that risks undermining democratic gains and the future of the country. Our deepest regrets and solidarity to the Haitian people in this difficult moment." So let me go back up to here. I'm going to play this video briefly, and then I want to get more into the background as to why this president was possibly assassinated. I had been doing some research literally just the other day, probably yesterday or the day before, and I saw some information, some troubling information that I feel might have played a role in why Jovenel Moise was assassinated. So let me go ahead and play this video.
President of Haiti, Jovenel Moise, been killed, assassinated overnight in his home. Melissa Bell joins us now with the details of this. Melissa, what have you learned?
Well, what we know is from the statement put out by the acting prime minister in Haiti, from which we learn that it was overnight about 1 a.m. in his private residence that he and his wife were attacked by a group of men, some of whom were speaking Spanish. Jovenel Moise has been killed, we now know, according to that statement by the acting prime minister. His wife shot and has not yet been killed, but we know has been shot as a result of the incident. It is an extremely shocking development, of course, that a president should be shot like that overnight, but it comes, of course, in the context of a country that has been particularly chaotic these last few years, almost from his entry into office in 2017. Jovenel Moise's power has been contested. There have been regular demonstrations recently. The cost of living has risen hugely, and there's been a political crisis that has engulfed his government now for many months. So big news now from Haiti. The big question is what happens next. What's interesting in the statement that we got from the acting prime minister was in his insistence on the fact that despite this assassination of the president overnight, the forces of law and order remain firmly in control. And of course, that is a reminder in itself of how unstable this country is. We've seen gang violence rise. We've seen a political crisis now that's gone on for months. Streets that have been taken over by demonstrators several times. The big question is now, as Haiti wakes up this morning to this news, how stable and how secure that continues to be.
And so that's what I heard, was that there was some cause for Jovenel Moise to step down, and he was refusing to resign. I don't know the exact details of why. I think I saw that people were saying that he won the presidency fraudulently and that he wasn't really meant to be president. So I'm not sure if that's why he was assassinated, but it's just kind of interesting that people wanted him to step down and he ends up being assassinated. So let's see if we can get some more details here. At 10:01 a.m., July 7th, 2021. This is posted from CNN. Here's what you need to know about the backdrop to Moise's assassination. The assassination of President Jovenel Moise deepens the crisis that Haiti currently faces on a number of fronts. Here's what you need to know. The attack comes amid a backdrop of political instability, with many key roles in the country's government already empty and the parliament effectively defunct. The country's opposition movement has long called for Moise to resign. Moise had just named a new prime minister, neurosurgeon Ariel Henry, on July 5th. However, it is his predecessor, acting Prime Minister Claude Joseph, who has assumed control of the country in the wake of the president's death. So it sounds like Claude Joseph just made himself the prime minister, or the acting prime minister, after Moise's death. So it definitely sounds like there's a lot of corruption, instability that's going on right now within the Haitian government. Criminal violence escalated in capital city Port-au-Prince in the month of June, including attacks on police and arson of civilian homes. More than 10,000 people have fled to temporary shelters. The country was also rocked by a wave of kidnappings earlier this year. That's so sad. It's like, oh my gosh, it's sad. COVID-19 is also on the rise in Haiti, with its highest death toll yet reported in June. Pan American Health Organization Director Carissa F. Etienne last month called on the international community to urgently assist the country in combating the virus. Haiti is heading towards elections and a controversial constitutional referendum this fall. The referendum had been championed by Moise as an opportunity to strengthen the Haitian presidency. So yeah, there's just a lot of unstable situations going on here, and that might have played a role in the president's assassination, but of course I don't know. I won't know any more than anyone else until further details are released. The White House press secretary calls the assassination of Haitian president a horrific crime. So apparently America has spoken out. Our American government has spoken out about this assassination. Let's go ahead and read and see what they had to say. So it says White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moise a horrific crime and pledged that the Biden administration will stand with the people of Haiti. It's a horrific crime, and we're so sorry for the loss that they are all suffering and going through, as many of them are waking up this morning and hearing this news. And we stand ready and stand by them to provide any assistance that's needed, Psaki said on CNN's New Day. We're still gathering details. We're still gathering specifics. And of course, our embassy and State Department will be in close touch, she said. It's a tragedy, Saki said. We stand with them, and it's important that the people of Haiti know that. So, wow, it's just really, really, really sad. I'm not happy with how unstable black countries are all over the world, from Africa to Haiti to Jamaica to Trinidad. Anywhere that we are the majority is really angering to me, that the only countries that are doing well are white-led or predominantly white countries. So, yeah, this is definitely upsetting. You know, this is very upsetting. I had no clue things were this bad in Haiti. I know things have been bad in Haiti, but I didn't know it was this bad. Wow, I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. So, you know, my condolences to the Haitians, and I just pray that we can be free and Haiti will be free from just the hold that European countries have on that country, and the European hold that is on all of us as people of African descent. I just pray that one day we'll all be free, and, you know, speaking out to our ancestors to help us liberate ourselves and be able to unite and be a strong power one day. And just, you know, we just got to keep fighting for what is right and don't allow these negative forces to win. I don't know why he was assassinated. They were saying some people were speaking Spanish, which I think is interesting because it's kind of odd, honestly, because in Haiti, people speak French. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know if this was a hit. It's just a lot to unpack, and I'm sure there's a lot behind the scenes that I'm not aware of. So, of course, if you guys know more, you can post in the comments below. And just so I'm so sorry from the bottom of my heart that Haiti is going through this difficult time. This really is upsetting and disturbing, and it does anger me that all of our countries where black people are predominantly living there is so unstable. As an American, it's upsetting for me as an African American because I can't even leave my country to go to a predominantly black country because none of our countries are developed, really. So we just got to keep fighting, you know, we can't give up until we're all free. All right, guys, so that's my segment. Thanks for watching. Until I see you again, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace, love, and light. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.